Good luck in Warringah. Bye-bye.
That's pretty good.
It's really important to thank you for breaking the ground. So, we're now going to send you out every month to a different destination across the country. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Very good. Good luck, gentlemen.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
The Collaroy and Narrabeen beach strip was part of a land grant in the 1810s, quite a huge property at the time called the Mount Ramsay Estate, and that the beach itself was part of that estate. So the border of the estate, I think, was the waters of the Pacific Ocean. And when that was subdivided in the 1880s, the government had an opportunity to buy back the beach, so it would be excluded from the subdivision, and they chose not to at that time. They just bought back Bondi Beach, and Coogee and Manly were accessible to the public, and they considered in the 1880s that that was enough public beaches. So the beach itself, the Collaroy and Narrabeen Strip, remained privately owned right into the 20th century. In 1909, again, the government considered buying back that land, and it attempted to buy back the strip of beach along Collaroy, but made a mistake in the purchasing, and actually just bought back little parcels of land at the end of each of the streets. So essentially, when people started to build their houses along this strip of beach in the early 20th century, they had the entire beach was within their property boundaries, so they could build as close to the sea as they liked. And this is why we have all these houses and private property that are literally just sitting on the edge of the beach, just there. So in the mid-1940s, there were a series of quite severe storms which really hit these houses that had been built close to the edge of the beach along Collaroy. Two were completely destroyed by the surf, actually coming right up into their properties, and a further handful were damaged, had parts of the buildings fall into the sea, or parts of the buildings washed away. So the government bought back 8 properties and demolished them, and it wasn't until the 1950s that the entire Collaroy beach was formally gazetted as a recreation reserve and vested in the Warringah Council.
Long Reef Aquatic Reserve is the oldest aquatic reserve in New South Wales. It's centred on the extensive intertidal rock platform that fringes this prominent headland. There's a rich diversity of marine life here because of a wide range of rocky shore habitats that offer different degrees of wave exposure.
So we're here from Delaney College. We're doing a fieldwork excursion where we look at coastal management. So we've chosen Collaroy because we feel like they've managed their issues quite well. So we take the kids here. Unfortunately, it's not the best day, but we take the kids here to look at management strategies, issues they have, how they're dealing with them, and then they complete an assessment task looking at what they're doing and can it be improved.
The weather continues to deteriorate with a howling south-southeasterly of more than 60 kilometres an hour and solid rain.
The thing that's really interesting about Long Reef is that was bought back by the government in 1912. It was previously owned by the Salvation Army. It had been given to them by the former landowner's daughter. And the government compulsorily resumed Long Reef to provide a public park for the people from Sydney as part of its a spate of reservations in the 1900s and early 1910s to provide public beaches for people from Sydney. And their intention was to create an open park, but people were camping there. People had always camped there, fishermen lived there. And once it was advertised as being brought back for the people just thought instantly, naturally that they'd be able to camp there. So the government spent a few years fighting campers on Long Reef. The DY corner of Long Reef, just where the lagoon used to jut into the sea, on the Long Reef side, was really, really popular with campers. And from 1913 onwards, the government just continually evicted campers every week, and every week they'd just turn up again. And these were people from Sydney who just, go away for a couple of weeks over summer. And then in 1917, the government finally gave up, just kind of quit because it knew it wasn't going to win this battle, and they actually opened up a campground there and vested it in the Warringah Council to manage. So there was a formal campsite from that point on, which had amenities and stopped people from cutting down trees to protect their campsites and that sort of thing.
Oh, you're so red.
Oh, thank you. You want somewhere I can get nice and warm. Yeah. It's lovely. You can get your hands wet. We're just out of the islands of massage. Yeah. But I have to say that in certain conditions.
Somewhat rejuvenated, we take to the cliff pathway that leads from Dee Why Pool through to Curl Beach. Though rain and wind have eased somewhat, the sea is still picking up, and with the tide full, we expect further fun at Curl Lagoon. We're not disappointed. Our party splits, with those more cautious deciding to walk around the lagoon, while 4 adrenaline freaks opt for the most direct route to Manly.
Look out, Phil! Quick!
These blokes are all 73 years old. But Manly is our destination, specifically the Quarantine or Q station. Situated within Sydney Harbour National Park, it will be our haven for the next couple of days. Comfortably situated, the excellent food of the Boiler House restaurant has us recounting the day's drama with an air of, did this really happen today? We like the vision of the lone golfer at the Long Reef Golf Course hitting off in a huge storm, he thinking us mad, and we the same of him. What a day, and Q Station an excellent venue for our first and much deserved rest day tomorrow.